Ah, there you go again, thinking that putting someone else on a pedestal and being someone's red carpet will make you valued, right? You're always available, do everything to please, you just need to turn yourself into a personalized cushion. And what happens? The more you bend over backward, the more the person insists on distancing themselves. Yes, my friend, it's not just frustrating. It's a display of disrespect. And in the end, guess what? You feel increasingly insignificant, as if all your efforts are for nothing. It's time to face a reality that many men don't want to hear. The more you dismantle yourself to please, the less you are valued. Plain and simple. No woman will respect a guy who goes out of his way to be everything she wants, especially when she didn't even ask for it.
Do you know what she sees?
A weak, boring man, a true walking spectacle of predictability. And who is impressed by someone who doesn't even seem to have something more interesting to do? So, if it hurts to be the nice guy that the person ignores without batting an eye, pay attention. I'll show you exactly why she doesn't value you at all, and, even better, how to reverse this scenario with a complete turnaround. And before you breathe a sigh of relief thinking I'm just here to help you for free, hold on. This video only reached you because someone had the decency to like and subscribe first. So, do your part too. Leave your like, click subscribe, and drop a thanks in the comments. It's not for me, it's for the algorithm. For it to understand that this content needs to reach more people who are in need of a good shakeup. Now let's get straight to the point. Why the hell doesn't she value you? It's no mystery. It's just that when you're always there, available at any time, waiting for the slightest sign of her life, you know what happens. You become that predictable and boring rug. Because yes, predictable is the word here, my friend. If she knows she can find you exactly where you left, what's the fun in that? You've become the background, something that's there and no one notices until you disappear. And let me tell you one of the greatest truths of the universe. We only value what's rare, what needs to be conquered. When you're available 24 hours, 7 days a week, guess what you've become? A giveaway. One of those you get without effort, and that ends up thrown in the drawer. And no one wastes time valuing something that is easy to have. She won't lift a finger to respect you if you offer yourself as a courtesy gift. Another classic mistake is this desperation for approval. It's that idea that being the nice guy or the easy one will make her see how special you are. Sorry to burst your bubble, but that only makes you look dependent on validation. It shows that you need her to feel like someone. And that, my friend, takes away any trace of value you could have. If you really want to be respected, wake up. No one will see value where you don't even value yourself. So let's explore some mistakes you're making without even realizing it. The same mistakes that will annihilate any chance of respect or admiration you wanted to evoke. Now, let's move to the real problem. The mistakes you're making that destroy any chance of respect. Here's a list of attitudes you think are kindnesses, and that in reality only turn you into a doormat. Mistake number 1, always being available. Thinking that being the go-to guy will impress? Spoiler, it only makes you look like someone without life, without purpose.
Do you know what she sees?
Someone she can have on hand whenever she wants, effortlessly. You're not the dream guy who's there for her. You're the accessible guy who has nothing else to do.
Guess what?
No one values a shelf hobby. Mistake number 2, not setting boundaries. Have you said yes to everything she asked for just to try to please her? Congratulations, you've signed yourself up for the No Personality Club. This sends a clear message. You're capable of giving up who you are just to impress her. How is she going to respect someone who doesn't even respect themselves? Simple answer, she won't. Mistake number 3, desperate search for approval. Everyone knows that guy who, in every message, is out hunting for a compliment, a little validation. This behavior screams insecurity, my friend. When you act like that, you're practically telling her that you don't hold yourself together. And do you know the last thing she wants by her side? A guy who doubts his own worth. Mistake number 4, talking too much about your feelings. That's right, Mr. Poetic. Thinking that flooding her with declarations will have any effect? It won't. In fact, the more you declare, the more you kill the mystery. Interest goes away along with the mystery, plain and simple. Want to express that you like her? Do it without handing over your emotional diary. Now that you understand what you're doing wrong, let's change this approach to stop being the guy she tramples on. And if you're tired of being the disposable nice guy who accepts crumbs, it's time to wake up. Go to the description and grab the digital book I left for you. After reading it, you'll understand how to be a real challenge, how to never bow your head again, and finally, how to put any woman in her place without mercy. If you want respect, then learn to act like someone who demands respect. Now that we've given you the scolding, let's move to the solution. Listen up. The secret for her to value you lies in, believe it or not, valuing yourself. Sounds easy, right? But this is exactly where most stumble and fall flat on their faces. When you're the guy who puts himself first, invests in himself, and lives a truly interesting life, she quickly realizes that you don't need her approval, nor the damn smile of yes to be happy. This is the kind of power that makes anyone stop to pay attention. A man who values himself isn't chasing, begging for attention, because he knows very well that his value isn't in how much he pleases, but in how faithful he is to himself. First rule. Here, change the focus. Instead of wasting time and energy trying to decipher what she wants from you, ask yourself, what do you want? What are your goals? Who do you want to be? If you start putting your priorities at the center, you stop being the always available guy and become someone with ambition and purpose. And my friend, that's attractive. Another point, have a life beyond her. Yes, that's right. If you don't have a routine, hobbies, interests, or friendships that don't involve her, you become too predictable, almost boring. Take a look at your hobbies. Do you have any? Do you have goals? Do you see your friends? If you have none of that and live solely because of her, guess what? She already knows every step you're going to take. But when you have an interesting life full of your own things, she'll realize that to be a part of it, she'll have to take an extra step. Taking care of yourself is another critical factor. And no, it's not just about appearance, but about the whole package. When you take care of your health, your physique, even your image, you send the message, I care about myself. It's almost like showing the world that you know your own worth. This type of self-confidence is the foundation of attraction. Someone who truly values themselves ends up making the world value them too. Now, none of this matters if you don't know how to set boundaries. Learn to say no without drama. A man who values himself doesn't accept any crumbs just to please someone. When you set clear boundaries, she understands that you're someone who has opinions and standards. That you're not there to be molded according to what she wants, but that you have your own personality. To summarize, truly valuing yourself means focusing on your life, having your own interests, taking care of yourself, and knowing how to say no without batting an eye. And if you follow these steps, you'll see how things change, not only with her, but with everyone around you. And now, let's get practical. I'll give you the step-by-step guide to flip this game once and for all. All right? So let's put this strategy into action and make her realize your worth once and for all. Here's the practical step-by-step guide to turn the game around. Step 1, reevaluate your priorities. First of all, stop acting like she's the sun of your solar system. Take a step back and ask yourself, does she really deserve so much of your attention? Look at your life, your goals, what truly makes you happy, and now think, are you exaggerating the importance of this person? The truth is, when you put what really matters at the top of the list, and spoiler, it's not her, you show that your world doesn't revolve around her. Suddenly, you start being less available by chance, and guess what? That's already enough for her to realize that you're not just there waiting for the next high. Step 2, be more mysterious. Want her to start missing you? Then cut that habit of opening up your entire life in a daily script. No more responding in 5 seconds or telling her everything you ate for lunch. Hold back some information. Remember the rule. Less is more. Make her wonder where you are, what you're doing, who you're with. This mystery generates curiosity, makes her want to know more, to understand what's going on the other side. Because if you hand everything over on a silver platter, where's the challenge? Practice. Respond, but without giving away all the details of your life. If she asks what you're doing over the weekend, you don't need to spill the whole script. Give a vague answer, leave an air of suspense. This touch of mystery will start making her think about you more than you imagine. Step 3. Give space to silence. This is the part that will test your patience, but it's a home run. When someone starts to distance themselves, the impulse is to chase after them to see if you can hold on. But that's where you lose the game. Silence is one of the most powerful weapons. Let her feel the emptiness of your absence. No constant messaging, no sticking to social media. Give that space and let silence speak for you. She will start to notice how much your presence made a difference. This absence isn't just a test for her, but for you too. Because when you show that you're comfortable being alone, you send a clear message. I don't need you to feel complete. This is the definition of self-confidence, and believe it, it's extremely attractive. She will realize that you're the type of guy who values himself, who knows what he wants, and who isn't chasing attention. Step 4. Invest in yourself. It's time to stop wasting energy where there's no return and start putting that focus on what really matters. You. Invest heavily in becoming your best version, but without the idea of doing things just to show her. Go to the gym and lift more weights. Read some books you've always wanted to. Learn something new. Truly focus on your work and, who knows, even expand your social circle. The more you grow and evolve, the clearer it becomes that you're someone in motion, someone who's constantly becoming better. This not only generates respect, but leaves that nagging doubt. If she doesn't become part of your life, she'll miss out on real value. Step 5. Show results, but discreetly. And don't turn into the king of ostentation on social media. Here, the trick is to let her notice your evolution, but in a subtle way. The last thing you want is to seem desperate for attention or validating your life to anyone. Be natural. Let the changes appear on their own. If you're happier, busier, more involved in things that enrich you, she'll notice. And this without needing to throw everything in her face. This is what generates real curiosity. A new phase that doesn't need an announcement. Step 6. Stay firm on your boundaries. This is the point of honor. Maintaining the boundaries you've set. It doesn't matter if you've done all of this, if at the first opportunity you go back to accepting crumbs. If she comes to test you, calls you only when it's convenient, or tries those attention games, learn to say no without batting an eye. A man who values himself doesn't subject himself to any behavior just to please. Your firmness will show her and everyone that you're someone with security and self-respect, who isn't willing to give up who he is for anyone. This step-by-step guide isn't about manipulation games, but about finally putting yourself at the center of your own life. When you follow these steps firmly, respect and admiration will naturally appear, because you become someone who respects themselves above all. And now, let's ensure you maintain this stance and resist the temptation to go back to being the guy she tramples on. Now that you're on the right path, I'll give you the final touch. The real challenge is maintaining this stance. Life will throw some temptations your way, and it's in those moments you'll want to revert to old habits. And here, my friend, is where you decide if this change is for real or if it was just a fleeting spark. First, understand that being firm has nothing to do with silly pride. It has to do with self-respect. Every time you feel like sending a message just to check how she is, or giving up your boundaries for a smile from her, remember the reason that made you start this transformation. If what you want is to be respected and valued, then you have to be committed to this new stance for real. And let me tell you something, consistency is everything. It doesn't help to act like this for a week and then go back to being the nice guy who accepts anything. The change needs to be from the inside out, part of your daily life. It's not just to impress anyone, but to become someone who truly values themselves. If you want respect, you have to live that respect, understand? And look, she will probably want to test this new stance of yours. She might even try to provoke you. See if you fall into the conversation and go back to being the available guy. That's where you show that this change isn't just a temporary game. The more you stay firm, the more she'll understand that you're someone who knows how to value themselves and won't give in for crumbs. To conclude, make this stance your new normal. When you live this way every day, not only she but the world around you starts to see that you respect yourself and know what you want. Are you ready to consolidate this transformation and show everyone that the new man has arrived to stay? Because now the ball is in your court, and it's up to you to decide how the game will be played from here on out. Congratulations for making it this far. Now you have the map to flip the game and, more importantly, to become the type of person that anyone, including her, respects and values. And look, the crucial point here isn't even for her to see you differently, but for you to see yourself differently. Because when you believe in your own worth and act according to that value, others have no choice. They perceive it. Remember that this change isn't a trick to conquer someone's attention, but to build a life where you are the protagonist, the man who sets his own rules. Enough of being someone's shadow, of staying in the background waiting for crumbs of validation. A man who knows his worth, sets boundaries, doesn't fall into games, and doesn't settle for little. So, from now on, follow this strategy with determination and watch the transformation happen, not only in the way she sees you, but mainly in the way you see yourself. And if you want more tips to keep growing, avoid traps and become your best version, subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell. Respect starts with you. See you in the next video.